So MW4 has been officially announced, and it's been a minute since I've actually done a video like this where I sit down and talk about like the state of COD and things that are going in the news space. So this is going to be a one-take reaction type video because I'm sure you all know, if you've been keeping up with Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 4 has been revealed, and we're just waiting for the news cycle to kick up. We're going to see more at the Summer Games Fest Xbox Showcase in a couple weeks, and Modern Warfare has been a very polarizing series to me, because every Modern Warfare after the original MW3 in 2011 has just been a hell, besides MW3 2023, the year 2 game made by Sledgehammer, which was developed in 16 months and was basically just a, hey, you know what they did the year prior with MW 2022? Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. Here, go nuts. And that is what MW2 should have been. We've talked about this ad nauseum, but MW4 is out, and I wanted to give it a couple days for the news cycle to go through and filter out what news is real and what news isn't. And I can definitively say, after sitting and just reading all the news and all the confirmed reports, and even seeing the videos coming out of Infinity Ward, which is what we're going to be talking about specifically today, that Call of Duty is back, which is funny because Black Ops 7 as a multiplayer COD is not even a bad Call of Duty in terms of gameplay. We got rid of that atrocious skill-based matchmaking, and the maps that we're getting are actually fairly good. It's a year 2 Black Ops game. We're going to talk more about MW4 today, and one of the things I really want to talk about, which you'll be seeing in the background, is this From the Ward series that Infinity Ward has been coming out with. Think of it like a Vidoc series that you would see from like the old Bungie studio during Halo 2 and Halo 3, where they would interview the devs. You would get like insider knowledge on like how the game is being developed. And specifically, I want to talk about episode 2, which came out, I believe it was today or yesterday, where they're specifically talking about the philosophy of multiplayer. And Infinity Ward has been lacking in terms of multiplayer quality given MW19 and MW2, because they decided that for some reason they want to take away core features of Call of Duty multiplayer and just not include them or move them to something else that is just the worst version of it. For example, red dots not being on the minimap, but being on your compass right above your screen, where it doesn't show distance, it doesn't show elevation, it doesn't show any of that. That was in MW19, MW 2022, and we didn't get it back until MW3, where they had to patch it in via gear. Now, we know that that's the case. We know that there's going to be a ninja perk, because originally we only had dead silence as a field upgrade, and footsteps are super loud. Well, now we can see that with the new studio heads at Infinity Ward, they are listening to community feedback. And I want to really emphasize that this whole episode of From the Ward is just Infinity Ward admitting that they have been fumbling in terms of multiplayer design. And it's not easy to admit that you were wrong. It's not easy to admit that, hey, we dropped the ball on this, not once, but twice. So let's go ahead and tell you guys now, hey, you don't have anything to worry about. This is going to be in the game. This is how we're looking at it. And I want to really dive in. I highly encourage you guys to watch this yourself, because I'm not going to make this a super long video. But one of the things that was talked about was, we want not only the casual fan to feel like they can stand a chance and to feel rewarded, but we want the players that have been playing for a long time, that have mastered everything about the game, the movement, the gunplay, just classic multiplayer arcade fundamentals. We want everyone to have a way of fighting back, and we want a way for everyone to feel like they are getting better and not being punished for it. And that is something that Call of Duty has been really, really bad about with their skill-based matchmaking system, with the fact that most multiplayers now, with this new era of COD, is just really focused on the camping side of it and kind of giving people a lot of cheesy ways to kill people. I mean, if you think about it, in Black Ops 7, we have sensor darts, we have gas mines, we have scramblers everywhere, we have dual akimbo auto shotguns. Like, just if you look back at the past 5 or 6 years of Call of Duty, you probably can think of something that's like, yeah, that's fucking cheesy. That's cheesy. There's no counterplay to it. For me, it's MW19 with the claymores. There's just very little ways of counterplaying around those claymores. The 725. With MW2, it was fire shotties, it was riot shields, it was just all of this stupid stuff. And there's probably going to be a little bit of that in MW4, but I think that with the new studio heads, specifically Marcus Grigsby and Jack O'Hara, you see a lot of them in these From the Ward episodes. There's a lot of transparency, which is something that Infinity Ward has not been, very accustomed to, I think, since maybe Ghost. Because I don't remember Infinity Ward really talking much about Infinite Warfare or anything like that. And they definitely weren't this open with MW19 or MW2022. So this is definitely this is something I'd expect from Sledgehammer. So this is a welcome surprise. I'm still being cautiously optimistic because I know that Infinity Ward, they can make any game look good. They can. This game looks great just from trailers, but we won't know how it plays until the entire community gets to play it. And for me, I usually wait to play the beta, and then I decide, okay, this is either going to be a good game or a bad game, or it has potential if they do this, this, and this. Given that they've already addressed a lot of my concerns going into this year, I'm a lot more optimistic than I was when I heard that, oh, well, we're going to have MW4 news coming out earlier this week. And I think that's exactly what Call of Duty needs to be successful with MW4, especially with the whole stacked lineup we have of games coming out this year, is that you need to be transparent. You need to be able to say, hey, I was wrong. You guys are right. This is way better for gameplay and for quality of life than how we initially designed it. We're going to go ahead and make changes on it. That is the one thing that I think Call of Duty can do to kind of bring back a lot of fans that kind of felt jaded after 2022 and 2023, and even the back-to-back Black Ops games, is need to not only be transparent, but you also need to be quick on making changes. And that's with patches, that's with seasonal updates, that's with optimization, that's with anti-cheat. You need to be on the ball because you have so many competitors coming this year specifically to take away your player base. And I think right now, Infinity Ward being as transparent as they are and really, hitting all of the concerns of the community had leading up to, this reveal is a good first start to, bring back that goodwill, bring back that trust that the community has with Infinity Ward games, because Modern Warfare games always hit different. Even if it's a year or two, MW3, once people saw the trailers, they were like, okay, maybe they got me. So it's very hard to not feel hype for a new Call of Duty game. The Call of Duty cycle is inevitable. It's always going to happen. It's always going to hit. And no matter what people say, they can say, oh yeah, I won't buy this year's Call of Duty. Okay, cool. Wait until the marketing starts. Like, just wait until how they frame how the game looks, like how the characters are moving, the guns, the story beats. It happens every year. That's why I never say, hey, I'm not buying next year's Call of Duty. The only way I'm not buying next year's Call of Duty is if the gameplay is MW 2022 Part 2. That is what I told everyone that watches my streams, everyone that watches my videos, everyone that I play Call of Duty with. If it is MW2 2022 Part 2, I'm not doing it. I'm going to find something else to do. So it's very reassuring that we're getting these Vidoc series from Infinity Ward. I just want to come on and talk about it because I know I've been at funerals while all this news was coming out. Literally, I was at my grandfather's funeral when the videos went live for MW4. So the only thing I'm really curious about is what are we going to do about Warzone? Because if you guys don't know, they are canceling Warzone for Xbox One and PS4 Season 1 of MW4, which is later on this year. Obviously, it's going to be in like late November, early December. It's going to be delisted at Season 4's launch if you have an Xbox One or PS4, and it's going to be completely removed and unplayable from those older consoles by the time Season 1 hits. And of course, MW4 isn't going to be on those consoles, which I know it sucks because a lot of people still have those older consoles, but dude, like those consoles are like 14 years old, like 13, 14 years old. It's getting to that point where you just have to save up the money. I know times are hard right now. Like gas is up, everything's more expensive, but we need to push the envelope in terms of getting off of these like older pieces of hardware because it is making the game not only look worse than what it should be in terms of performance wise, like optimization. It makes it very difficult for people to upgrade, their PCs or their consoles, and then the games run how they should because we're running an engine that is meant to run off of 13-year-old hardware, or to run 13-year-old hardware at a steady 60 frames per second at high fidelity. It is limiting the resources and the engine enhancements that we can have. Like, for example, One of the new features this year, which was a big thing when it happened to this game, is the smokes are now not just a particle effect that distorts vision. It is a actual thing. You can throw a grenade and blow it up, just like you could in CS2, where it will dissipate the smoke and then it will like re-cloud up. You can shoot through the smoke and see through it. We couldn't do that with how, you know, we were running off of this old MW9 engine, because we had an Xbox One and a PS4 that would turn into jet engines the moment that you would try to implement something like that. So it's very reassuring that we're, you know, pushing the envelope and now working towards better optimization for our current and next gen consoles, as well as our current generation of PCs. So let's go ahead and keep that up. That's good. And the only thing I really have to say is I'm going to be keeping an eye on this game, mainly because I'm going to be doing content on it and I want it to be good. I want it to be fun. I feel really bad for Treyarch because Black Ops 6 could have been great, and then they got forced to do a year 2, and they had to completely just butcher a Black Ops 2 sequel. And even though the multiplayer side of gameplay is good, no one really cares, because BO6 was disappointing and BO7 had a dogshit campaign that completely tarnished the entire game for people, and they just think it's like just absolute shit, absolute slop, which there is a lot of slop in the campaign, but, you know, I can't really explain like, hey, like the gameplay's really good, just don't play the campaign, because some people, that's not how some people work. So let me know what you guys think of MW4. This is a different type of video, especially because I came out with a scripted video like a couple months ago, which I'm very sorry. I meant to come out with another one after that, but life happens. We'll try to do more of those. I'm looking to have one more of those videos out before MW4 comes out. But we'll have more videos like this, just because I think talking about Call of Duty kind of gets these ideas into the ether. And I know that some Infinity Ward devs, Acti devs, and even some just people that don't play Call of Duty a lot would really appreciate hearing this from someone who plays Call of Duty in its current state full time. Because this is like one of the only games I play whenever I'm not, you know, playing like 007 or playing just another like, you know, Counter-Strike or anything like that. Like I live and breathe this game. So if you're gonna want to find out what's going on, you talk to someone like me. How are you guys feeling about MW4? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. We're one off of 200 subs at the time of recording. I appreciate you guys, and you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Peace.